Update 1. Soul Prison Black Market and Player-Funded Buyouts. The simplest and most natural way to give captured criminal souls a purpose would be through a soul black market. Certain criminal cities, such as Kranesh, could host a special market where captured PK souls stored inside soul prison vessels may be listed for sale. The exact city does not matter. The important part is that these locations become places where criminal souls can be bought back. The price should not be set by players. Instead, the game should calculate the value of the soul prison vessel through its own mechanics. This prevents players from abusing the system by listing souls for absurd prices, using fake transactions, or manipulating the market. However, the money should not come from an NPC vendor or be created from nothing. A soul prison vessel should only be released when another player actually buys it from the market. That buyer could be a guildmate, a friend, an alt character, or anyone willing to pay for the criminal's freedom. One player loses money, while the spiritist or bounty hunter who captured the soul receives that money. The gold remains inside the player economy instead of entering the game from an artificial bounty reward. Once the soul prison vessel is bought from the market, the imprisoned soul is automatically released. There should also be a time limit before listing. If the captor does not place the vessel on the soul black market within a reasonable period, the soul is automatically freed. This prevents players from privately holding another player's soul forever without consequence. But once the vessel has been properly listed on the market, the soul may remain imprisoned until someone pays the game-determined price to buy it out. This creates a simple but meaningful criminal economy. Killing an outlaw may lead not only to loot, but to the capture of their soul. Their allies then have a real reason to gather money and buy back their imprisoned guildmate, while the people who captured that soul are rewarded directly by other players rather than by an NPC system. Update 2. Combining soul recall with soul prison. The mechanic of calling a dead player's soul back to their body should not be limited to allies. It could also work together with soul prison. For example, after a red player dies, their soul may already be traveling through Etherworld before they are resurrected. A spiritist could return that soul to its dead body and then capture it inside a soul prison vessel. This means the spiritist does not need to wait for the criminal to be alive again or rely only on the exact instant of death. If the body still exists and the soul can be reached, the spiritist may be able to pull the soul toward the corpse and imprison it. That creates a much stronger connection between the different spiritism mechanics.
Soul recall becomes useful not only as a rescue tool for allies, but also as a method of securing a criminal's soul before the criminal returns to the world. In this system, spiritism is not made of isolated spells. Its rituals can combine naturally. One ritual calls the soul back, another binds it, and the soul prison becomes the final result. Update 3. Spirit Ward, Surveillance Radius, and Influence Radius. Spirit wards should have two separate areas, a larger surveillance radius and a smaller influence radius. The surveillance radius is the area the ward can observe. This is the wider zone where it can detect movement, such as players or mounts crossing an important route near a dungeon entrance, a mountain pass, or a caravan road. The influence radius is much smaller. This is the area that determines whether another spiritist's ward can interfere with it. Because the influence radius is smaller than the surveillance radius, two spiritists should be able to place wards far enough apart to observe the same general location. For example, two different wards could monitor approaches to the same dungeon entrance from different positions, as long as the wards themselves are not placed too close together. A spiritist should only be able to disrupt or replace another ward by placing their own ward inside that ward's influence radius, not merely because both wards watch the same area. This creates a better balance. Important places can still be watched by more than one spiritist, but direct interference requires close placement and real territorial contest. A ward is not removed simply because another spiritist happens to monitor the same dungeon, road, or pass from a different position. Update 4. Spiritists should need other spiritists. A very important limitation should exist for spiritist services. A spiritist should not be able to perform certain major services on their own. For example, a spiritist should not be able to apply a one-time soul bond to their own creature, resurrect the soul of their own animal into a new body, place a spirit contract blessing on themselves, or prepare their own spirit rescue effect that protects the body for 1 minute after lethal damage. These high-value services should require another spiritist. This may sound restrictive at first, but it is actually very important for the player economy. If every spiritist can fully service themselves, the profession becomes mostly self-contained. Players would simply train spiritism to solve their own problems and would rarely need to interact with others. But if even spiritists must seek out other spiritists for major rituals, then the service economy becomes real. A spiritist who wants to protect their own rare domination creature must hire another spiritist. A spiritist who wants a spirit contract blessing must pay another player. A spiritist who wants spirit rescue protection before a dangerous fight must receive it from someone else.
This creates dependency, trade, reputation, trust, and social interaction. Spiritism becomes not only a magic school, but a profession that exists between players. The idea is simple. A spiritist can sell powerful services to others, but cannot fully become their own customer for the most important rituals. Update 5. Spiritist Service Board and Living Reputation. Spiritist services should be supported by a simple service board system. A spiritist could post an announcement on a local city board offering specific services such as one-time soul bond for a creature, animal soul resurrection, spirit contract blessings, spirit rescue preparation, soul prison handling, spirit ward placement, spirit of vengeance investigation, or other ritual services. The post could include the service name, the price, the city where the spiritist is available, and perhaps a short description. Since city boards are local, this would naturally create regional markets. A famous spiritist in Maduli, Kranesh, Fabernum, or Tindrum could become known for different services. After seeing the listing, another player could contact the spiritist through whisper, mail, or a response system directly on the board. Then both players meet in the world, and the service is performed manually. But this system should not include automatic ratings, star reviews, guaranteed payments, forced delivery, or mechanical protection against scams. A spiritist should be able to take the money and betray the customer. The customer should also be able to lie, set a trap, bring enemies, or refuse to follow the agreement. That risk is part of Mortal. This is important because reputation in Mortal should be alive, not mechanically solved by the game. If a spiritist scams people, players will remember. They will warn others in the city, in guild chats, in Discord, on forums, and through word of mouth. That spiritist may become infamous, hunted, blacklisted, or feared. Another spiritist who always keeps their word may become trusted, expensive, and respected. In this way, the service board does not replace social reputation. It only helps players find each other. The real reputation remains in the hands of the community. This kind of deception is similar in spirit to PvP. A scam is not a sword strike, but it is still a form of theft, betrayal, and player conflict. And because Mortal Online is built around risk, trust, and consequence, the spiritist service economy should allow both honest professionals and dangerous frauds to exist.